30 years within the Order. My psionic levels had reached demi-apex status. Yet, because of a mandatory deep cover mission from the system, I had been away from Sanctuary for 5 years. When I finally returned, I was immediately framed by the new golden boy, Julian, accused of channeling void energy, colluding with the Voidborn, and butchering my own squad mates. If I couldn't prove my innocence, they would strip my powers, lobotomize me, and throw me into the black site to rot as penance for the dead. Facing the beautiful High Overseer and the entire hierarchy of the Elysium Order, their bias as blinding as a spotlight, I found I didn't even have the desire to explain. If you say I'm guilty, then bury the thought with you. Outside the tribunal hall of the Elysium Order, the crowd was suffocating. Commander Kane, you've been gone for years. How could you turn to the void? How could you become this monster? Kane, Marcus and Elena treated you like family. How could you slaughter them? Inside the hall, a young man in a sleek designer suit pointed a trembling finger at me, his face a mask of heartbreak. In the center of the tribunal, 2 chrome stasis caskets hummed. Inside lay 2 charred, desiccated husks, unrecognizable, withered, looking utterly wretched. These were supposedly Marcus and Elena, the squad leaders Julian claimed I had murdered. The other agents, seeing the grisly state of their comrades, glared at me with undisguised hostility. Kane, I never thought you were this kind of person. Using void energy? Killing our own? I used to look up to you. Marcus was a saint, and Elena was the kindest soul in the Order. You animal, how could you? Facing Julian's frame-up and the nonsensical rage of the Order, my expression remained flat, my tone indifferent. I didn't kill them. Hearing me speak, seeing me so calm, Elder Vance of the Disciplinary Committee roared. Kane Blackwood, the bodies are right there. Even now you argue? Who else could it be but you? My expression didn't shift until Clara spoke. Kane, I'm so disappointed in you. Marcus and Elena were so good to us. How could you have the heart to end them? It's bad enough you killed them, but now you don't even have the courage to admit it? Hearing that, my brow furrowed instinctively, a sharp prick in my chest. I didn't care if strangers framed me or blamed me, but Clara was different. Clara was my protege. I had raised her. She possessed the lunar conduit gene, a rare physiological trait that made her the ultimate energy amplifier. Partnering with a lunar conduit could exponentially speed up one's power evolution. Because of this, every male agent wanted her. But Clara was born broken. Her genetic sequence was flawed. Linking with her wouldn't boost power. It would drain the user dry and shatter their foundation. Everyone avoided her like the plague. I was the one who couldn't bear to see it. Ignoring the ridicule, I took her in. I raided S-rank hazard zones, facing death 1,000 times to find the Genesis serum to repair her DNA. Afterward, I gave her all my resources, personally teaching her every combat protocol I knew. I never thought she wouldn't trust me. I never thought she'd believe a lying weasel like Julian. I looked up, my cold gaze sweeping over everyone in the hall. Since you all say Marcus and Elena were saints who never made enemies, why would I kill them? My question stumped a few of the clueless junior agents. Right? No verdad, no hatrif. What was the motive? Just then, an agent close to the deceased Marcus spoke up with a sneer. Kane, drop the act. You killed them to get the artifacts they were carrying, the Aegis Blade and the psionic orb, didn't you? Everyone knows their father, the former Grandmaster, left those supreme relics to them before he died. The Aegis Blade can slice through mountains. The psionic orb stabilizes the mind and accelerates evolution. You must have coveted them for years. Not only that, out of the entire younger generation, only your power levels rivaled theirs. You killed them so that with them gone, you'd be the natural successor to lead the Elysium Order, right? Hearing this explanation, the crowd had an epiphany and resumed their verbal assault. So that's it. Greed for the treasures. Poor Marcus and Elena. Their father died fighting the Voidborn, and now they're murdered by this traitor Kane using void techniques. Thank God for Julian. If not for him, Kane might have gotten away with it. Even the best plans have flaws. I spit on him. A man as vicious and narrow-minded as Kane thinks he can lead the Order? Keep dreaming. Hearing the speculation, High Overseer Evelyn Sterling, seated on the diamond glass throne, slammed her hand down in fury. The armrest shattered. Traitor, on your knees. Evelyn unleashed the pressure of an alpha-level entity, directing it entirely at me. I stood with my hands behind my back, unmoving. I said, I didn't kill anyone. Seeing I withstood her pressure, surprise flashed in Evelyn's eyes, quickly replaced by rage. Traitor, Julian saw you kill them and take the artifacts with his own eyes. You still dare to deny it. The girl I raised didn't trust me. Now, the mentor I respected most didn't trust me either. My heart began to ache dully. Julian seized the moment, dropping to his knees, wailing theatrically. Overseer, poor Marcus and Elena were geniuses. Their father died for this order. Now, they've been ambushed by Cain and drained dry like husks. You have to get justice for them. Hearing Julian's lies, a flicker of murderous intent passed through my eyes. Julian, you say I killed them. Do you have proof? Julian froze, then looked even more tragic, sobbing harder. Cain, I saw it with my own eyes. My poor squad leaders. They always talked about wiping out the Voidborn to avenge their father. They wanted to die on the battlefield. Instead, they died by your hand. Cain, you're venomous. You still won't admit it? I know I'm weak, but today I will demand justice for them. Julian made a show of rushing at me, but Overseer Evelyn stopped him. She patted Julian's head soothingly, then looked at me with eyes colder than ice. Traitor, still won't confess. I laughed self-deprecatingly, my tone dropping to 0 degrees. If you want to hang a dog, you'll always find a rope. My gaze drifted over the faces in the hall. I just don't get it. Why are you all so convinced I did it? A junior agent stepped forward. Julian saw it. Are you saying he's lying? I sneered. Julian doesn't lie? Is his word law? The agent paused. I ignored him and continued. According to you, Julian watched me kill them. That means he was at the scene. With my power level, do you think I wouldn't sense a Class C weakling nearby? And if he was there, and I killed 2 Class A aces, why would I let a recruit who hasn't even hit Class B survive? You're a flock of sheep. You believe whatever you're told. If he said your mother was dead, would you believe that too? Answer me. My blunt rebuke stunned the crowd. Some started to realize I had a point. It was all Julian's word against mine, and he had produced 0 physical evidence. Furthermore, how did a rookie escape a killer who took down 2 veterans? A flash of unnatural panic crossed Julian's eyes, but he quickly covered it. I was far away. Marcus and Elena fought desperately to hold Cain back. Plus, I had the Hermes boots the Overseer gave me. That's the only reason I escaped to warn the Order. If not for their sacrifice, I wouldn't be seeing you all today. Sobiti. Julian's tearful performance tugged at everyone's heartstrings. Overseer Evelyn looked heartbroken. Enough. Why would Julian lie when he's grieving like this? We are interrogating you. Julian saw you. That is evidence enough. If you want to prove your innocence, bring out your own proof. Don't demand he prove your guilt. Evelyn's face was frost. Hearing her blatant bias, I laughed. A bitter, acidic laugh. I couldn't believe my mentor bought this. As an alpha-level superhuman, she knew exactly how wide the gap was between an apex predator and a rookie. A Class C scrub escaping an apex killer? Impossible. She knew it, but she played dumb. She demanded I prove a negative. What was this if not absolute favoritism? I looked coldly at Evelyn. Overseer, are you sure you're choosing to believe Julian based solely on his word to condemn me? I was a transmigrator, yes, but the Elysium Order was where I grew up in this life. I had affection for it. So, even now, I wanted to give my mentor and this organization one last chance. Years ago, Evelyn's core was damaged in the Great War, stalling her at Class A for years. I ignored the risks, following the system into the Forbidden Zone to find the Celestial Bloom to repair her source code, allowing her to break through to her current alpha level, half-step Omega status. I treated her like a mother. Hearing my tone, hesitation flickered in Evelyn's eyes, but it vanished instantly. Cain, it is only because I watched you grow up that I'm giving you a chance to confess. I didn't expect you to be so stubborn. You act, but won't take responsibility. I am truly disappointed. When Julian first joined, you stole the psionic orb. When he reported you, you held a grudge and poisoned him, nearly killing him. I ignored it all these years, thinking you'd change. I didn't expect you to remain this venomous. My heart turned to ice. Disappointment crushed me. My revered mentor didn't trust me, the one she raised, but trusted an outsider. When Julian joined, he stole the orb. When I caught him, he gaslit everyone, accusing me first. Then he poisoned himself to frame me. I explained it then, and Evelyn didn't scold me, just told Julian to drop it. I thought she believed me back then. Turns out, she never trusted me. How could that not hurt? Clara saw the tears in my eyes and thought I was guilty. Cain, do you regret it? Save the crocodile tears. Julian is so kind. If the Overseer hadn't intervened back then, if he hadn't run fast enough recently, he'd be dead by your hand too. What's the use of regretting it now? I laughed. A mocking sound. Who told you I regretted anything? Seeing my smile, the self-righteous crowd exploded. You monster. You killed them and you're laughing. Admit it. We demand justice for Marcus and Elena. Inside the tribunal, hundreds of agents knelt, shouting in unison. Justice for the fallen. I looked up at the sea of faces. Disappointment wasn't a strong enough word. 5 years ago, I took care of these people. I shared the high-grade serums and tech I got from a system. I treated them with sincerity. Yet now, they looked at me like I was a disease. Overseer, it's my fault, Julian sobbed on the floor. Kane never liked me. He must have seen how close I was with Elena and Marcus and got jealous. I'll leave the order after the funeral so I don't upset him. He cried big, fat tears, looking pitiful. But I saw the smirk hidden beneath. Hearing the crowd and seeing Julian's selflessness, Evelyn snapped. She raised her hand, gathering kinetic energy to strike me. Traitor, still unrepentant, I sidestepped her strike effortlessly. Overseer, what's the rush? My tone was dripping with sarcasm as I walked toward Julian. The crowd looked confused. What are you doing? Clara snapped. I smirked. You wanted me to prove my innocence? You branded me a killer before I could even start. Isn't that a bit hasty? Evelyn and the crowd paused, wondering what proof I had. Fine, someone yelled. Show us. If you prove you didn't do it, we'll apologize. I ignored them and looked down at Julian. Junior, you said you saw me kill them with your own eyes. Which eye did you use? Julian blinked, surprised I was just asking questions. Both eyes, obviously. My lips curled. I raised 2 fingers like a gun. Is that so? Julian felt a sudden dread. A beam of condensed energy shot from my fingertips. Since they don't work, you don't need them. Blood sprayed. Julian screamed as his world went dark. I had blinded him instantly. His screams were blood-curdling. The crowd froze. No one expected me to attack in broad daylight. Evelyn reacted first. Traitor, you dare commit violence in front of me, trying to silence the witness? Evelyn raised her hand, terror-inducing power radiating from her palm to crush me. I was ready. I flickered out of existence and reappeared 5 feet away, dodging again. Evelyn didn't have time to wonder how I dodged. She rushed to feed Julian a recovery pill. Clara surrounded the blinded Julian, looking at me with pure venom. Kane, you're truly evil. Just for a sentence, you blind him? Elder Vance, the Inquisitor, finally stepped forward. Evelyn, the truth is clear. He kills for treasure, covets the throne, and silences witnesses. Death is too good for him. I propose we cripple his powers and throw him into the Storm Prison for a lifetime of electroshock torture. Clara knelt, eyes red. Please, Overseer, give justice to Julian. Thousands of disciples knelt. Justice for the Order. Evelyn stood up, hatred in her eyes. Traitor, committing violence in public. Evidence confirmed. Anything else to say? Explanation? I actually had proof. In my 5 years away, I hunted the Voidborn. I could smell the void stench on Julian. I just needed to provoke him to drop his camouflage. But now, facing my mentor's bias, Clara's betrayal, the Order's stupidity, my heart was dead. I didn't want to explain anymore. Oh, if you say so, then die. Seeing my casual, dismissive attitude, Evelyn snapped. Enforcers. Take them down. Hundreds of Class B and Class A enforcers stepped forward. A squad capable of taking down an alpha. They rushed me. My eyes didn't hold fear. Only cruelty. Enshrined by the god. I raised my hand. Golden kinetic energy surged, forming a massive spectral palm in the sky. I pressed down. Boom! Hundreds of agents didn't even have time to scream. They exploded into a mist of red blood. Total annihilation. The hall fell into a deathly silence. Everyone was paralyzed. I killed hundreds with one slap. That power. You're not Class A. Did you hit Alpha? Elder Vance's voice trembled. But as a fellow Alpha, he recovered quickly. You think reaching Alpha makes you untouchable? D. Vance drew his blade and charged. I sneered. You first. I swiped my hand through the air. Vance froze, an invisible force gripping his throat. He struggled, uselessly. What were you doing? Terror leaked into his voice. I didn't answer. I clenched my fist. Splat. Vance's head exploded like a watermelon. Blood rained down. I reached into the gore and pulled out his glowing psionic essence. You're the one who ordered the hit? I smiled at the soul in my hand. Vance was terrified. He tried to threaten me with the Grandmaster. I don't know if I'll die without a grave, I said, but I know you will. A black vortex opened in my palm. I devoured Vance's soul, the energy flooding my veins. Been a while since I felt that. The onlookers were numb. An alpha-level elder, dead in seconds? Kane, you kill my master. D. A disciple named Lee charged. I glared at him. His body spontaneously detonated. I ate his soul too. Kane, you really have fallen to the void. Clara screamed, heartbroken. I looked at her and smiled. Aw, my dear Clara, I almost forgot you. I pointed a finger. A beam of lethal energy shot toward her. She froze. The man who adored her was actually trying to kill her. Just as the beam was about to hit, a force field deflected it. Enough! Evelyn's voice boomed. She was shaking with rage. I had killed her colleagues, her students, and now tried to kill her favorite project. Traitor! I will cleanse this house myself. You? I scoffed. Evelyn unleashed her full power, half-step Omega. Arrogant. She fired a blast of kinetic force. I matched it with a casual slap, amplified by phantom leviathans of energy. Crack. Space itself seemed to tear. The shockwave leveled the hall. When the dust settled, I stood untouched in the air, my white trench coat pristine. Evelyn lay in the rubble, bleeding, pathetic. The gap was a canyon. She was an ant. Kane, she raised you. You animal. A female agent screamed from the back. You're a demon. I tilted my head. If you say so. I snapped my fingers. A bolt of lightning drilled through her skull. The crowd watched in horror. I walked toward Evelyn. Clara threw herself in front of her. If you want to kill her, you have to go through me. I looked bored. Okay. I swung my hand like a blade. Clara's head flew off. Her eyes were wide with shock. She never thought I'd actually do it. No. Evelyn screamed. I grabbed Clara's soul, but didn't eat it yet. I wanted her to watch. I stepped over the corpse to face Evelyn. Minter, my power eclipses yours like the sun eclipses a candle. Tell me, did I really need to sneak attack Marcus and Elena? Would a bug like Julian escape me? The crowd's faces changed. The logic was undeniable. I looked at Julian. Evelyn glared at him too. Julian panicked, slapping his own face. Kane, you hate me. You stole the artifacts and used void magic to get this strong. If not for that, you'd be nothing. The crowd latched onto this. Yes, he's using void cheats. He's a monster. Julian cried harder, playing the martyr. I should have died. Kill me, so the others survive. I plucked a blade of grass, putting it in my mouth. You said you should have died. It's not too late. I swung an invisible sword of air at him. An elder jumped in a way to save him. I cut through both the elder and the air, hitting Julian. Julian screamed, spitting blood, but he didn't die. I raised an eyebrow. My strike could cut a battleship. A Class C shouldn't survive. He had a secret. Again then, I raised my hand. Stop. Evelyn shielded Julian, despite her injuries. You won't touch him. I laughed. You think you can stop me? Evelyn signaled the remaining elders. Formation. Kill him. Dozens of alpha elders threw their weapons into the sky. Thousands of agents poured energy into them. The sky turned dark as a massive energy grid, the astral defense matrix, locked into place. It drew power from the mountains and rivers. It was the Elysium Order's ultimate defense. Outsiders watching from the hills gasped. The astral matrix. Is the Order under invasion? Evelyn stood at the core, her power artificially boosted to Omega level. Kneel, Kane, or die. I looked at the giant, glowing grid and laughed. This toy. I took the grass from my mouth and slashed it upward. A beam of pure, chaotic severance sliced the sky. The matrix shattered. The mountains cracked. The river stopped flowing. Evelyn vomited blood as the feedback hit her. The other elders fainted. I walked toward her. Clara's soul trembled behind me. Congratulations, I said to a shivering agent nearby. You get a prize. I crushed him into paste. Stop. A booming voice. Grandmaster Orion, an Omega-level legend, stepped from the void. Grandmaster. The disciples cheered. Save us from this devil. Orion looked imposing. Enough. I smirked. You think you can protect them? I crushed another disciple right in front of him. Animal. Orion roared and attacked. The onlookers buzzed. Who is this kid? Fighting Orion evenly. That's Kane. They say he was framed. Framed? With that power, why would he sneak around? Orion heard the gossip. He realized the mistake. He pushed Evelyn aside and slapped her. Fool. You threw away a titan for a maggot. He turned to me, smiling fakely. Friend, let's reset. Be the vice commander. I shook my head. No interest. Then what do you want? Your head. I charged. Orion panicked, calling for help. 3 other ancient elders popped out of hiding. Too late, I said. I decapitated Orion in one stroke. The 3 other ancestors attacked. I killed them effortlessly. You? How? The white-robed ancestor gasped. Because your power is fake, I whispered. I am the real tribulation. I killed him. Then I snapped the female ancestor's neck. Since you love each other, die together. I placed their heads in a row. Orderly, I absorbed their souls. The crowd was catatonic with fear. Suddenly, 12 pillars of black light erupted from the ground. A blood moon rose. A terrifying suction began draining everyone's life force. The blood moon array. A survivor screamed. That's high-level void magic. Evelyn screamed at me. See, you are a demon. I sighed. Still stupid? Look at Julian. Julian stood up. His eyes healed. Horns sprouted from his head. A third eye opened on his forehead. Ha ha ha. Cain, you surprised me. Julian, now a void prince, laughed. Thanks for killing the old guys. You sped up my plan. Void creatures poured out of portals, bowing to Julian. Evelyn and Clara's soul were paralyzed. Julian was the monster. I was innocent. Ow! Evelyn stuttered. We were wrong. The disciples cried. Cain, save us. Julian sneered. Idiots. Cain, join me. Join you. I killed a disciple who told me not to. Don't tell me what to do. I cut Julian's head off. He regenerated under the blood moon. I am immortal here. Julian gloated. Immortal? I slashed the moon. The array broke. Julian panicked. You're an apex. Bingo. I slaughtered the void army with one swing. Julian trembled. Spare me. Did you spare me when you framed me? I cut his head off. He stayed dead. Evelyn looked at me with hope. Cain, I'm sorry. Apology accepted, I said. I'll leave your body intact. I fried her brain with a thought. You monster. The last elder screamed. You killed him anyway. I walked to the center of the array, dug up the stolen psionic orb, and modified the array. No snowflake is innocent in an avalanche. I snapped my fingers. The blood moon turned on the survivors. They melted into energy. I absorbed it all. The bystanders on the hills tried to run. I dragged them back. Since you came to watch, stay for the show. I melted them too. With a massive influx of energy, I finally broke the final barrier. I wasn't just a superhuman anymore. I was a god, an earthly supreme. Then, I opened a portal to the void dimension to finish the job. Story complete.